The Election Commission disqualifying the PTI chief Imran Khan today, it is important to discuss the various legal provisions that were triggered and invoked by the Election Commission. So a number of commentators have spoken about the Election Commission's powers under Article 62(1)(f) of the Constitution and whether or not the Election Commission qualifies as a court in terms of Article 62(1)(f). Those discussions have limited utility and limited relevance given that the Election Commission has not invoked Article 62(1)(f). To the contrary, the Election Commission has invoked sections 167 and 173 of the Elections Act 2017, which deal with corrupt practices and making a false declaration. Section 232 of the Elections Act gives the Election Commission the power to disqualify someone who has violated the provisions of the Elections Act for a period not extending and not exceeding 5 years. Article 63(1)(p) of the Constitution of Pakistan also empowers or also talks about disqualifying a parliamentarian who has violated different provisions of a law in force in Pakistan. So it's important to remember that former Prime Minister Imran Khan has not been disqualified for life under Article 62(1)(f) of the Constitution. He has been disqualified under the various provisions of the Election Act and under Article 63(1)(p) of the Constitution of Pakistan. So the difference between his disqualification and perhaps the disqualification that Mia Mohammad Nawaz Sharif suffers from is that Prime Minister Imran Khan's disqualification is curable by a lapse of time. Secondly, I think it's important to observe that the more things change, the more they remain the same. With elections approaching in nearly 10 months, once again a popular leader in Pakistan has been disqualified. And we have a history where our politicians often miss the forest for the trees. In 2017, when the then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was disqualified, Prime Minister Imran Khan had said that Articles 62 and 63 of the Constitution are critical to cleansing the fountainheads of our political process. But we now see that Prime Minister Imran Khan too has been disqualified under the same provisions. So it's interesting to note that with elections approaching, once again our headlines would still be dominated by the contours of Articles 62 and 63. It's also going to be interesting to see how the Islamabad High Court decides and rules on this disqualification, because it's highly likely that the former Prime Minister would challenge this disqualification before the Islamabad High Court. We will also have to see if this dispute reaches the Supreme Court, where Chief Justice Bandiyal has already held that the disqualification of parliamentarians no longer has a place in our legal and constitutional dispensation. In the end, I think it's once again important to remember that with one more Prime Minister being disqualified in our judicial and legal history, the more things change, the more they remain the same.